LaToya. How are you doing today?
Hello, hello. I'm doing amazing. Today's been an amazing day, and I'm really grateful to be on this live and having this conversation with you. I'm always
Awesome.
glad to have a conversation with you, but I'm
Oh,
really
thank
glad to
you,
be
LaToya.
here.
I am super excited too. And for those of you that may be tuning in and you're like, wait, this is supposed to be Donna St. Louis's feed. I am not Donna St. Louis, but I am Doug Stampley, and I am the client concierge and mindset coach for Fire Savvy, and Fire Savvy was co-founded by Donna St. Louis and Chanel Evans, and we work with amazing, brilliant experts like LaToya who are looking to create those epic offers. They want more client attraction, and at the end of the day, they want to convert more sales and grow their business so that they can increase their positive impact on the world. And today I have a very, very special guest, one of our Fire Savvy insiders, LaToya. And LaToya, we are going to be talking about our comfort zone and some antidotes so that if we get caught in that comfort zone, we don't have to deal with the poison of getting stuck in that comfort zone. But before we dive into that, LaToya, would you please introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and who you serve?
Absolutely. So, again, hey, everybody, I'm LaToya, and I am an energy mastery coach. And what I'm doing out in this world, my magic out in this world, is helping women who are coming from male dominated spaces, military, government, and are now ready to step into the next level of their purpose, their prosperity, and their power, using their gifts and their talents in a different way, ready to start that revolution that they know they're here to start. I'm here to help them do that, to activate themselves in that. Even if they've had, veteran resources and counseling and therapy, I'm here to introduce them to the aligned AF method so that they can step into who they truly are and do what they came here to do in this world. And that's who I am and what I do.
Yes, and you are so amazing at what you do because I have actually had a chance to experience it. We've been on some calls before, and you're like, Doug, can I just share something with you? And I'm like, oh, yeah, please. And some of the insights that you have shared with me, because I'm a big energy guy, and I have actually had a chance to experience your gifts, your talents, and how you use them to help really open people up to this new level of insight and energy flow. So I'm
Mm.
so excited to have this conversation, LaToya, because anybody that's listening right now is going to be blessed in so many ways that they may not even realize yet. So, okay, are you ready
Mm.
for this?
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I am ready. In the Navy, they say always ready. So yeah, I'm ready. Let's
Awesome.
go.
Okay. So today we're talking about you've got three antidotes to share. And I guess, first of all, when we're talking about getting stuck in the comfort zone,
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you have recognized? I know you help a lot of women who are going through this and they're trying to figure out, how do I work through this season of feeling stuck and really step into who I'm fully meant to be? And I'm curious, like, what are some of the things you've noticed in terms of things that where people are getting stuck, women in particular, that you've noticed that's causing sort of that trap of the comfort zone?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. Beautiful question. So first of all, I want to say no guilt, no shame, no judgment. I think all of us as humans, we get trapped in the comfort zone often. I
Absolutely.
right. So it's the law, right? It's literally universal and law of physics, right? Though whatever is at rest will tend. The law is to it will tend to stay at rest, but I really feel it wants to stay at rest, right?
Mm.
And you probably have felt that too. Like my husband and I were just talking about this morning because he was like, we just came back from vacation and he's feeling the resistance of going to the gym, right? The body has been
Oh,
at
yeah.
rest. And it
I can relate.
wants, right? It wants to stay at rest. And so this is also true energetically. And so because if we enter a period of rest, it can be as simple and easy as we had a really good deep sleep. And guess what? The body and the energy bodies and the mind wants to stay at rest. And so you could feel even in the comfort zone for 2 hours in the morning, right? Of just wanting to stay comfortable and wanting to stay at rest. Um, The body loves comfort. It loves stability. It loves safety, especially for a lot of us who have been through trauma. So I'm sharing that to say no guilt, no shame, no judgment. This is a human experience, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Of coming into the comfort zone. So I already forgot the questions.
No, that's okay. No, we were talking about like how sometimes that can be dangerous
Oh
and
yes.
it can be addictive, and sometimes it's easy to get stuck in that in that comfort zone, we're calling it, but just kind of in that stale, stagnant energy, right? In that
Yeah.
stale place where nothing's really moving and our creative juices aren't flowing.
Right.
And I guess I'm just curious, like what is the danger of that? What is the danger in staying
Yeah.
in that stuckness?
So here's the danger, and I know this is probably going to surprise people the way that I'm approaching this. But here's the danger, because the body and the energy mind and the energy body wants to stay safe and wants to stay in the comfort zone. For me, one
Yep.
of the biggest dangers is justification, right? Because it
Oh,
wants to stay there, we then begin to justify why
yeah.
we can and should stay there. This for me is the most dangerous. Why? Because internally at the core, we absolutely know that there's more. We absolutely know that there's a purpose that gets to be fulfilled by us. We absolutely know that we're called to something. Even if you don't know what it is, even if you feel stuck, even if you feel confused, even if you feel multi-dimensional, multi-gifted, and you want to do all things, everything, you feel it. Whatever that it is, you feel. I am supposed to move forward. I'm supposed to do more. I'm supposed to impact further. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so when you get into the place of the comfort zone and you are in sync with that energy of wanting to feel stable and secure and safe, we begin to justify. And when you begin to justify, it's so dangerous because you are giving your conscious and your subconscious reason not to fulfill your true purpose, your true calling, and to become who you truly are. And once you start giving yourself those reasons and those justifications, oh man, then it's a cycle that it's even more
Yeah.
difficult to get out of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which then spirals into the feeling of guilt, of shame, of fear, of like it just starts to spin. And let me say this, Doug, real quick. A lot of us as coaches, mindset coaches, we're treating, if it's a comfort zone thing, we're starting to treat the symptoms, because for
Mm-hmm.
this particular thing, fear, doubt, imposterism, self-sabotage, these are symptoms of really your body and your energy body just wanting to stay safe and secure. And the justifications then go in sync with the
Yeah.
other symptoms. Yeah.
So
I know
I'm
that was a
sitting.
lot, but
No. And the reason why I was kind of laughing is like, oh my God, just say my name, LaToya. Just say my name. I'm right here. Because I'm like, you're helping illuminate and helping increase my level of self-awareness just sharing this, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is totally me. Sometimes I get stuck in story. I get stuck in a pattern. And that's what you're saying, is that when we allow ourselves to stay in the comfort zone, what continues to happen is that pattern will just continue to repeat itself. That will be kind of our new safe space. It'll be comfortable, easy. We'll kind of work a groove, and then it's a little bit harder to get out of that groove. And so then now my next question is, because you explained that beautifully, what's the antidote? How do we break that pattern? How do we step out? How do we get the energy flowing again? How do we disrupt that pattern so that we can open up that flow and get back to who we were really designed to be?
Yeah. So for the purposes of this conversation, I'm going to give 3. Is that still okay? Is that all right?
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything you're willing to
Okay.
share is awesome.
Thank you. And a shout out to Danielle.
Hey, Danielle.
I'm going to start. Hey, Danielle. I'm going to start with a little less obvious.
Okay.
So let me caveat this by however you feel about him before I say his name. However you feel about him, gems of wisdom and powerful information can come from all different avenues, right? So regardless of how you feel about him politically or organizationally, right? Elon Musk said something really that hit me really hard and very powerful when he was addressing the Air Force, and the general was interviewing him. And he said, what's super important in SpaceX is that we celebrate failure. And if the military wants to truly tap into the energy of innovation, and right now I'm comparing innovation with the energy of coming out of the comfort zone.
Okay.
If the military truly wants to tap into that space of innovation, they must be comfortable with failure. And then he went on to say, and I don't mean I mean just comfortable with failure. I mean celebrate failure. In other words, instead of rewarding success and the measurements of success and the key KPIs that you have set, start to give those same rewards to the people who have tried something new and failed, because you will not try something new unless you get to the point where you are comfortable and celebrating the failures. The celebrating the failures is in fact celebrating doing something new, never tried before, never done before, coming out of the comfort zone. It was so powerful to me. And I'm equating that now with coming out of the state of rest and out of the state of safety to the point where it keeps us where we are. We now get to become comfortable and to celebrate the small risks that you have taken, whether they have borne fruit or not. What we're celebrating is the fact that you took a risk, the fact that you overcame whatever barrier and you took a risk without being attached to the outcome. The outcome is irrelevant, because as you take more and more risks, you will in fact move further and further and further along the way. I was watching the video of the laureates of the Nobel Peace Prize, and they were alluding to the exact same thing. We're so invested in the process of what we're doing that failure is a non-issue. It's simply moving towards further and further along the process. And this is the energy that we get to move into. That's tool number one, Doug.
Okay, wait a minute. So no, I love this on so many levels though, LaToya, because I'm a mindset coach, I'm an educator at heart. And this is really speaking to me on some deep levels right now, because you're talking about rewarding risks taken and being focused on process focused versus outcome focused. And really, when I think of like being focused on the process, I think about being in tune with real-time energy flow. Right?
Yes.
And that's what I love about what you just shared. So this is brilliant. And I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that or just go into step 2, but I love
in that same video, and forgive me for not remembering, the names of the laureates, but I'm almost positive it was 2017 roundtable of the laureates of the Nobel Peace Prize. And the interviewer asked him, how do you deal with failure? And he immediately said, you're asking the wrong question. And it was so powerful. He said, because we're talking about being so present, right? Like you said, with the now, with the flow of what's now. He said, we are so in love with what we do that there is no failure or success. There is only the process of what we're doing and what gets to come out of it. It was so powerful for me.
Yeah.
And so, and the same person said, we're teaching the wrong thing in school. He said, even beyond, he said, I know we talk about, we don't teach money, the truth of money and economy in schools. He said, but really at the depth of it is we're not teaching the rewards of taking risks. And he said, and if it were up to me, and all the laureates agreed with him. And he said, if it were up to me, I would teach low risk, safe, fun methods of actually gambling. So I'm not trying to create addictions or casino, but we're
That's
talking
going to be a
about
separate live, right?
it's so separate live, right? But he's like, we're talking about being comfortable with the process of taking risk and knowing that it's all a part of moving forward in what you love in life. So I only share that to say, when we're talking about coming out of the comfort zone of speaking more live, going on the stage, making more offers, going for a new love relationship, being where you want to be so that things can happen for you. We're talking about coming out of the comfort zone. It really is celebrate this. We make small risks every day that we don't even consider risks, right? Things that we take for granted, right? And so celebrating, seeing them for what they are, going to a new restaurant, trying something new on the menu, right? Trying a new hair color, a new hairdresser, which is a huge risk, by the way. Celebrating these things for what they are, and really when you're celebrating them, you're really speaking to your subconscious and your body and your energy body to know, hey, this is life actually. And we get to accelerate the moving forward and what we're called to do by doing this. And I'm complete because I could go on and on, but I'm complete about this tool. Yeah.
Okay. So can I just play back for you what I received in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You just gave me a huge mindset shift. You just helped facilitate a huge mindset shift, because when you were talking about being so in love with what we do that we don't even worry about how we deal with failure, to me, that opened up something for me where I was envisioning being so invested in your beingness and an internal validation because of your beingness, rather than what am I doing and how is that externally going to be validated?
Right.
That's what showed up for me. And am I like warm at all? Because that was really powerful.
No, you're absolutely right. So for their perspective, we don't do science. We are science.
Yes.
Right.
We're just
so
being
for
who
your
we are,
perspective,
fully.
being who we are. Yeah. So for your
Yes.
perspective, I don't do mindset shift. I am mindset movement, right? We're talking about flow, right?
Right.
Yeah. From my perspective, I'm not an energy worker. I don't do energy work, right? I am energy work and flow, right? And it's a completely different space to work from.
Yeah.
Deepak Chopra talks about the law of detachment, and this is exactly what you're saying: detaching from the significators, right? The outcomes, the external validations.
Yep.
Has no bearing on your being. Right? It has no bearing on your being. How many people like this video has no bearing on the fact that you are mindset shift and I am energy movement flow, right? How many people comment on it has no bearing on who we are.
Yep. I love it. I love this. Okay. So to kind of bring it
Mm.
back here, we're talking about 3, and I'm sorry because I kind of lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
This is what I love
This
about
is
our
so juicy.
conversations because you take me, and honestly, this is just a real time like confession here. Anytime
Mm,
I have a conversation with you, you take me to places I've never gone before, and I'm just like so present and so
mm,
captivated by the things that you share. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm just so invested. So you had shared,
mm.
celebrating failure was one of those antidotes.
Yeah.
Um, to
Well, let me caveat that. It's
Yep.
it's actually celebrating taking risks,
Okay,
right?
got it.
Because
Celebrating
using
thing.
the word failure is still an external mm,
Right, I hear you.
conditioning, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So rewarding those risks that are being taken and celebrating those risks. I love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it
Hmm.
cleans up
Hmm.
the energy around that a little bit, doesn't it? So I
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
fine tuning. I love that
Yeah.
fine tuning. And then that second piece that you talked about how to deal with, that failure and just by being so in love with what we do, that's kind of that second tip, right?
It is. It is in a way that, and I let me say this. Mm,
Go with it.
yeah. So what I'm seeing right now are one of those flowers that are actually weeds. And I don't even know why I'm seeing it, but um, they're so beautiful in that each petal, goes from one color and it fades into the next color. Um, and the flower is, in fact, just being. And it is just being regardless of
Yeah.
if I think it's pretty or not, or if you think it's a weed and it needs to be whacked, right?
Right. Right.
It is just being. And
Yep.
the energy that is within that flower is emanating,
Mm.
regardless of what we think about it. There is an energy within that flower that is, whoo, Doug, you did ignited something, that is vibrating and in sync with the energy that is around it, the energy that is in the ground, the energy of the air that's moving, the energy of the worms and the insects that are also weaving and bobbing through the ground, the earth, the energy of the sun, which we know is in fact energy. And if it's energy, it's vibrating, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so this flower is just being and in sync and harmonizing with the energy that is around it, that is meant for its growth and its purpose, right? Here's the caveat though. We can put something around it that will damage it,
Mm.
that will cover it, that will render it not doing what it's supposed to do, right? And so this is the other piece. Falling so in love with, oh, Doug, I really just have to flow with this. So give me,
Oh,
please
no,
give me the
no.
space real quick.
Absolutely. No, go with it. That's what I love about these.
Falling so in love with the center, the core of who you are and what you came to emanate and be, that it is vital, regardless of who thinks it's a weed, who thinks it should be whacked, who thinks it needs to change its color, who thinks it needs to be replaced or repurposed, or regardless of that, what is around this flower also matters. When you are fully in love and in sync with yourself and who you are and who you came to be, you will know that, yes, I need sun. Yes, I need air. Yes, I need dirt. Yes, I need these worms and insects around me. Yes, I need, I need all of these things. And those things that do not align with the growth and the health of this being gets to be removed. And I know that that's going to hit some people hard, but it is in fact energetic law. universal law. It just is. And so if you are feeling, back to the question, right? If you are feeling or know that you have the tendency to fall into that comfort zone, who is around you?
Mm.
Who is around you? And I could just drop it there, but I will ask a lot of other questions. Are they in the comfort zone? Or do they feel the need for you to be in your comfort zone so that they can feel safe? What is their comfort zone? How deep is their comfort zone? How much are they I did a video about the four the four people that you really need to remove when you're called for the greater and to do the greatness. There's four of them, and I'll mention two real quick here. One is Mama Bear, right? It doesn't have to come in the form of mother, but they carry Mama Bear energy. They just want to hover over you and make sure that you're protected and you're good. And it's out of love, but it is stagnating you.
Yep.
It is in fact stagnating you. And the danger, again, the justification. Well, they love me. Well, they've been there for me. Well, they've invested in me. Well, okay, right? The justification. The justification allows Mama Bear to stay there and allows you to stay where you are, right? The second person is Joey. The Joey, right? Which is the baby kangaroo. The baby kangaroo is going to stay in that pouch, and energetically it will stay there and will feed into your need to be wanted, right? To be needed. Your need for fulfillment in having impact in somebody's life. And because they are in the comfort zone in your pouch, they ain't going nowhere. And guess what? You can only go so far with that Joey in the pouch. And I can go so far. And the Joey gets to grow and grow and grow and grow, which will get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier in your pouch. And eventually you ain't going nowhere. So I would ask, anytime you feel like you're slipping into comfort zone, who is around you?
Wow. Okay. This has been fantastic. So we're talking, you want to get out of that comfort zone. You need to celebrate and reward those risks that you're taking. That second piece is that you want to be so in love with who you are that it doesn't matter what's happening from that external validation standpoint. You want to validate yourself from the inside out because you're so in love with who you are. And then that third piece is take a look at your environment and notice who is around you. Do you have people who may be loving you, but the structure may be in a sense where it's actually holding you in that comfort zone, either from that Mama Bear energy, someone kind of hovering, or from that Joey baby kangaroo energy, somebody that needs you, right? And it's sort of keeping you stuck in that regard. How am I doing?
You're doing absolutely perfect. Daniel said, Doug, you're such a good listener. You're doing amazing. Yeah, that's it.
And so I just want to share something real quick, because one of the things that I love about having a conversation with a true energy master like yourself, that a lot of people listening may not understand, is that these things aren't necessarily scripted, because this isn't like an intellectual process as much as it is an energy process. And
Absolutely.
I'm so happy that you allowed yourself to open up and receive, and thank you for your generosity in sharing what you were receiving, because this is an example of the type of work that is so transformational. It's very unique, but it's so incredibly transformational because it's not like anything else, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, LaToya, I'm so excited because you and I have been working together for several months. And by the way, LaToya is on the other side of the pond.
Yeah.
Portugal. And that's one thing I love about our Fire Savvy family, is that we have so many people from all over the world. You're going to be joining us next week. We have another member from Thailand who's going to be joining us, and we're bringing all of these amazing, brilliant people like yourself together in the same physical space. It is going to be just electric. Now, LaToya,
It is.
anybody, I can't wait. But anybody who's listening right now and is like, wow, this is so cool. I just need to get on a phone call. I need to have a conversation with LaToya. I need to find out more about what she does and how it works. What's the best way? But let me ask you two questions. Do you have anything coming up that people should know about? And then secondly, like, what's the best way to reach out and for them to connect with you?
Okay. Yes. So I run what we call the Goddess Collective.
I love that. Goddess Collective. That in itself, I just love that name.
Yes.
Let's never underestimate the power of that name.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Yeah, and it is very purposefully selected. And what we do in there is get back to the truth of who we are and really get back to that God energy. And because it's specifically designed for women, I do work with men, but because it's specifically designed for women, that God energy is goddess energy. And so getting back to these practices and these tools and this knowing that has always been within us, but has been suppressed and demonized and projected upon for way too long. And now we get to, as a collective, get back to that in a way that now elevates it to the next level, because we as this generation, and I'm talking about we as this generation, have a new level of experience and wisdom to bring to this thing.
Yes.
So I'm calling out the goddess within, because you who are listening, you have a movement in you that you have a movement in you that is dying to get out. And I'm using those words choicefully.
Yes.
It is dying in you to get out. It requires the energy activation. This is beyond affirmation. This is beyond journaling. This is the energy shift within us.
Yes.
That we now get to bring to the world. And so the Goddess Collective is going on. A taste of that is coming at the end of August. I'm going to be doing the Goddess Unlocked, which is a 3-day intensive.
Oh, cool.
And yes, and then we get to move into the next cohort of the Goddess Collective. But there are ways to start working with me now, to start doing some energy activations, elevated energy sessions, Vedic astrology chart readings. So all that being said, there's so many ways right now to work with me, because I feel your energy and you're like, I need to start this work now.
Yeah.
And there's actually ways for you to come into the Goddess Collective now before the next cohort. So please reach out to me. Facebook. I don't live on Instagram, but I will check often. Facebook Messenger at Coach LaToya Z. Just please message me and let's get the conversation started, because truly my purpose is to see you living out your movement.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, LaToya. And for anybody who's listening and they're like, wow, I want to know more about Fire Savvy, I'm your guy. Please feel free to reach out, hit me up in a DM. We're actually having a live Q&A laser coaching session with Don and Chanel tonight. If you're interested, hit me up. I'd be happy to invite you tonight as my guest. It's at 6:15 p.m. Eastern. And we also have a fabulous summer series, and that link is on the screen. It's just firesavvy.net/summer if you'd like to do that. Crystal Vasquez is our next guest speaker in August, on August 20th. She's talking about team optimization, and she is brilliant. So I can't wait for that one. But yeah, just hit me up. Let's just have a conversation. And I highly encourage you to connect with LaToya. She is amazing. LaToya, thank you so much for your time today. This was just such a treat. And I just can't put in words how much I appreciate you and your gifts, and just being so willing to openly share those with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's such an honor, such a privilege. And all you who know Doug, you already know he creates the space and and brings it out of you. So I tell you how grateful I am for these conversations in this space. So thank you. Thank you
Yes,
so
you're
much.
very welcome. And I can't wait to see you live in person soon. So
Yeah.
awesome. Hey, that's it for today. Thank you all for joining us. LaToya, thank you again. And I will look forward to seeing you soon. Okay.
Okay.